sun shines bright as it moves across my face. I feel the light and everything is in its place. Oh, I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me, and life is good the way it should, the way it was meant to be. And it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. The wind is blowing, the bells are ringing, children playing in the park while birds are singing. I am walking, and I am laughing.
Who among us has what it takes to be an apprentice trader? Does the intuition of a property developer translate into the financial world? The smarts of a student or the patience of a stay-at-home mum?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
These hopefuls plucked from other lives think they can do it.
As of now, you are going to become our partners.
Including not one, but two professional poker players.
Okay, David, what are you bringing to this partnership?
You've got to be very perceptive about other people. You look at other people's motivations and you categorize them, whether they're like trying to act and tell you something they're not, or if they're just unaware of what they're doing.
Some have worked in finance before, others will learn from scratch the tricks of the trade.
You need to have the mental fortitude and strength to brush off the losing trade, because that's going to be cost of you doing business. You're going to win some, lose some, you win more than you lose, and at the end of the day your losers are not losses, because you cannot predict the future, they're only the cost of doing business.
They've got 3 years to prove themselves, buying and selling shares, currencies and commodities. Make a good impression and get a job with your master. Growing the company fund and training more apprentices. They're trading with real money, £100,000 each, and trying to make that grow. But if at any point they lose more than half that money, well then, they're fired. 8,000 applied, but only 15 got through. Some have quit their jobs to take up the opportunity. Even those with no background in the industry are confident they have a nose for it.
It doesn't faze me. The whole point of this program is that anybody can learn, and you know, I've got friends who don't have qualifications who trade at home successfully, so I know it's more about the individual and, you know, self-discipline rather than qualifications and, you know, experience. So no, not threatened at all. Bring it on.
Throughout their apprenticeships, they'll live on their wits and a share of the profits they make. The greatest return, though, will be for those who succeed and reach the dizzy heights of the financial world. Ty Enright, Sky News in the city.
And the apprentice master Mike Baghdady will be speaking live to Dermot Murnahan at 11:20 this morning here on Sky News.
Well, now it's time to take a look at the business pages, and I'm joined by stock market guru, I'm glad to say, Mike Baghdady, who's invested £1.5 million, no less, of his own money in an experiment to try to turn 15 novices into successful city traders. He's also going to look at, as I said, at the business pages for us, but we've got to talk about that. Very good morning to you, Mike.
Good morning, sir.
Putting your money where your mouth is, that's for sure, but doesn't it rather kind of downgrade the role of the trader in that you're more or less saying anyone can do it?
That's exactly the point. Anybody can do it. This is, I have been for the last 30 years, as you training the professionals in the institutions and the banks, and they are the ones that made the majority of the money in the crash of 2007. 85% of the public has been unfortunately not gaining the amount of money that the traders and the bankers are getting, and that's why you have the talk about taxes and taxing the bonuses and all that kind of stuff. So now we do have a talent, we have an expertise, and there is this great public demand that they need to know, to learn how to be on the right side of the market, and therefore this crossing of those two interests came along, and it has now become a calling.
So you got hold of these 15 novices, you've given them 100 grand each.
Yeah.
How have they been doing? And I mean, they all must respond differently to the training and the advice you give them.
We are putting them in the plan right now, and they will get effectively on the floor as of July the 14th, because they have to give notices to leave their jobs. Most of them have been employed. Some of them are bankers. Some of them are actual traders in banks. Some of them, there's a housewife, a taxi driver. It's a tapestry.
Got room for any newsreaders, or is it all full?
Exactly, absolutely, absolutely. And we are going to put them to, we're starting the program as of July 4th, and they will be getting the training and the expertise. We're going to make them a full-rounded traders to become our future hedge fund managers.
And is this philanthropy on your part, or is it a full-on market investment?
It is an investment, not philanthropy. This is a business endeavor. It is something that I undertook with my partner, Ben Tucky, and that was the plan based on our belief that we can actually take an individual from any certain background, and we can deliver to him that knowledge and expertise to be on the right side of the market.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on how that experiment goes. Now, you've been casting an eye on the business pages for us. Just talk us through this Plan B. Much discussion about the Chancellor George Osborne, who's told me on many occasions that there's no change, there's no deviating from the course he's set in terms of the cuts.
Having cuts and austerity measures is important, and it's necessary to have a balanced budget, but it is rarely that a government on its own can get out of the recession. It needs a lot of participation from the public sector. To get out of this recession, you need the consumer participation. They need to be able to buy, invest, and there should be demand. The demand is only a function of having disposable income that a private investor can use to...
So just in terms, I mean, this article in the Sunday Times, of course, it's leading, and the Observer as well. Just in terms of the cuts programme, what's your personal view on it? I mean, clearly everyone agrees the deficit is a problem. How much of a problem, how much of a threat is it to the UK recovery if it stays at these levels?
It's a very big threat if there is no other alternative. There should be a second. There is not one cookie cutter that will get us out of the situation. We need the private sector to participate into the development of the economy. They have to take active participation. They have to become proactive investors in the market.
Now, another story you've picked out for us concerning education, and of course vital in terms of the economic mess we're in. This highly educated elite, I suppose, we need for us, and private individuals thinking about setting up, and academics amongst them, a centre of excellence to rival Oxbridge.
Absolutely. The line or the connection that I have here, and the reason because I chose the story, is that the same principle, if you will, has been taken by the American University in Cairo. They have started a program of offering their students an alternative kind of education, more practical education to get involved in the market. And we have been, I'm honored to say, we have been given the opportunity to prepare to undergraduate courses and to MBA courses, so that the economic or the student that gets into the college will get all the elite education, plus he's going to have the practical executional form, if you will, to enter, and then when they go into the job market, they will have an additional something to offer.
Pricey though, I mean, £18,000 here is about twice what you would pay going to a state university through that system. I mean, do you think if people feel that they are going to get access to the really top people, they'd be willing to pay that?
Unfortunately, there's no free lunches, and you always pay what you get for. So
We'll see if that one flies. Last story then, Mike, and out of the travel sections, in actual fact, King Tut will see you now. This, of course, one of the dimensions of the so-called Arab Spring and all the upheavals in Egypt.
Well, this is one of my favorite stories, if you will. I mean, I'm Egyptian by birth, and this is my home country, and it is such a joy. I have been there after the revolution. I was asked to go and talk to the EGX traders there, but I've seen Egypt right after the revolution, and now to see that Egypt is now back open to business, this lovely country, those hospitable people, and we love the English people to be there and visit and see King Tut float down the Nile or go to Sharm el-Sheikh.
Not too busy right now because a lot of the tourists were scared away.
You'll get a big bang for the buck.
Okay. Well, and I hope you do in your experiment with those traders as well. Great advertisement there for Visit Egypt as well. Mike Baghdady, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And you're watching Moynihan here on Sky News. Coming up, you're all processed, but where is this peace, especially today? A problem.
We can see the recruits have got 3 years.
Right.
And you've given them how much money?
Each is getting £100,000.
£100,000.
Right.
When you handed over that, first of all, how did you choose out of the 8,000 or 9,000 who was going to get it?
We did a series of tests. The first test was the written test, and then after that we went through a psychological profiling, if you will, to make sure that they have the right temperament to become a trader. And then we did the final interview, and we offered the basic 15 the job. It's a job.
And did you get your hands dirty in choosing them?
I always get my hands dirty.
I suppose what I'm saying is, you did the psychological profiling, you did all of this other stuff, but, you know, you're a man who's made millions, so you know in your gut if they've got it.
Well, to succeed in trading or getting involved in the market, the key is training the trader, and training the trader. You cannot teach the trader. You must train him.
Yeah.
So I had to find out that these are trainable people I can work with every single day for the next 3 years.
I disagree with you on one thing,
Right.
sir.
That's what makes it a market, by the way.
Absolutely, absolutely. I disagree with you. Traders have to learn the mechanisms of trading, but traders are born. And it doesn't matter whether they're trading fruit and veg in the market, fish in the street, or stocks and shares. It's a mentality.
And that's what the experiment is all about. Is it nature or nurture? You say nature, I say nurture. I can nurture anybody to become a successful trader. I'm staking my reputation, my legacy on it. Anybody that can come to us, I can train, and we can make him a trader.
But you've chosen people who are predisposed to being good at it by your own admission.
No, I chose people that are predisposed psychologically, but
Right.
they have no idea what trading is all about.
Ah, that's mechanisms. That's nuts and bolts.
No. I mean, I have a guy that doesn't know what long is or short is.
But there's something
He
about...
hasn't seen a chart before.
No, but he could trade anything. He could trade gold, he could trade commodities, he could trade fruit and veg.
Absolutely, that's what I'm going to trade them. As long as we can plot it on a chart, we can trade it. They can trade shish kebab for all I care. I will train them to do that.
Have you taken anybody completely randomly as a control, just to see if it's going to...
Everybody is a novice in this group. Nobody is a professional. I have about I have two FX dealers that came in, but everybody else is completely no experience.
Just going to pause for 1 second, because whatever nerves of steel or whatever other analogy you want to make about trading, look at these pictures that are coming into us now. These are the astronauts arriving for the final flight of the Atlantis space shuttle. They're just arriving at the moment in Florida, where of course the final preparations will take place. We'll have more on this in a moment when we get to see them. It's the last shuttle flight of a multi-decade program that cost hundreds of billions of dollars. And the launch, of course, is on Friday, July the 8th. It's at 11:26 local time. Look, I'll tell you more about this in a moment. I want to come back to Mike here, because this is just as fascinating. Okay, so when they do their trading, can they trade anything?
Absolutely.
Derivatives?
Absolutely.
CDSs?
As long as it's chartable, yes.
Chartable?
As long as they can see it on a chart and apply the rules that we are going to give them, then they can trade it.
What's the number one rule that you're telling them?
The number one rule, you have heard, of course, the term buy low, sell high.
Well, that's, I mean, yes.
And that's why 90% of the people in the market lose money. The idea is not buying low and selling high. The idea is to buy high and sell higher. You need to have sufficient demand. When I buy something today, it has to be strong, it has to be excitable in demand, so I can turn out to sell it to you, so I can take my profits.
See, I discovered a long time ago that I couldn't sell water in the desert. Simply couldn't do it. I can tell you why Greece might or might not default, but I cannot sell. I've got no trader instinct.
And it's not instinct, it's rules. If you know the rule, can you drive a car? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, exactly.
Not very well, but...
I mean, by being trained, if I train you, then you can drive.
Right.
Like that's it.
So, here we go. It's a 3-year experiment, correct?
Right.
So you put 1.5 million up.
Right.
12 months from now, what do you hope that 1.5 million will show?
I hope I can make them back.
So what, 3 million?
The idea of me doing this is a business proposition.
Right.
I'm not doing this for philanthropy. This is a business. I know that we can train the traders that they can become successive.
What's the most unusual trader that you've got?
The most unusual...
From the 15?
From the 15, I have a housewife.
Right.
Okay. I have 2 poker players.
Ah.
I have a taxi driver, a cab driver, and we have a guy that is unemployed.
Finally, Mike, this is fascinating. We're going to follow this closely.
Absolutely.
Finally, Mike, have you got a secret suspicion or feeling that you know who's going to do the best? You don't have to tell me who it is, just in your own instinct.
I have to tell you, I've been doing this training for many, many, many years. I always get pleasantly surprised.
Fine. I'll give you a nasty shock. Okay. If you'd like to give me 100,000, I guarantee you...
Can I lose it?
Hey,
if I train you, I'll give you the 100 grand.
I'll have fun, but I'm not sure you'll like the surprise at the end of it. Many thanks indeed. There we go. Many thanks indeed.
It's a beautiful